Yeah. Four, five, six, seven, 9, 10.今年对人家，那你跟我们，那老师你，不是啊，其实我是属于不能说是在那个，他们那个就是目前来还在那，他不是那个事，但是不管怎么，他老师其实我面对出来的事，这个不管，我只是让我懂。
Okay. Evening, night, morning, from wherever you're joining us. This is today's weekly analysis, and today we decided to do it on YouTube so that even as the week continues, you can get to get the recorded video even as time goes by. Whenever you want to refer to this video for some things that we'll be talking about during the video, you even get to know the strategy that I personally use and why I use it. Why do I classify it as powerful as it is? And so, for those that don't know me, actually I'm Teddy Campbell. I'm forex trader for some time now, and today I want to give you a weekly analysis. The last week we had a weekly analysis, and it helped us to determine the direction for GBP USD even before FOMC decided to change the way the week will act. I also shared that on the last live session. So This weekly analysis does help people that so that you can be sure what will be happening through the week, so that you can be certain what will be happening through the week, and you can have a bias of trades for that week. And so you won't be you won't be in a position to take trades don't um go, that don't move the market, so that you can be in the right move on the market, and you can decide to hold trades for as long as you want. And that is what weekly analysis does. And you can decide to hold trades for any time that you want, and they are very very key. And so today's trade, I'll be showing you, I slightly changed my strategy, or not rather my strategy, but I slightly changed the pairs that I look at, so that I can increase the number of trades, or the I can increase the trades I take through the week. I saw that once I'm looking at one pair, um uh most of the time I'm forced to take trades that don't rhyme with that pair. But when I look at multiple pairs, I'm looking to take trades at any time. And so today we'll be analyzing several pairs, and because as you can see currently, the trade that you can see that has taken, that was the trade that I took last night. It was around, I took the trade in the closure of the 23 um 10:30 p.m. candle. Once the trade closed, I took the trade, but I didn't close it here because at my time it was not 22:45 as TradingView shows, but it was around this area. I closed around this area, but the trade I knew would have hit my take profit. But the problem is I didn't take the trade until this area. US 30 is also hard to position size, so I opened the trade with a small lot size, and and this trade I banked around 12 $13 with just that, just simple trade. And also I was looking at let me add this to my watch list, because these are the pairs that we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at GBP USD, which I've been trading for a while, and now I understand the way it moves, even though it didn't give me a trade. That is why I decided to stop looking at GBP USD, so that I cannot fall for trades that don't matter. But even though we can still find things in GBP USD. Let me show you. Someone would have taken a trade around here. Around we have here, but you cannot take the trade because it doesn't rhyme with my I could not take the trade because it didn't rhyme with my trading strategy. And these are the things that I find myself making mistakes on. That's why I decided to start looking at many pairs. And I'm talking about many pairs after doing a weekly recap on them. Now I can take the trades for the week. And so we're going to be starting from GBP USD. This is my main pair. This is the pair that I look at most of the time, and this is the pair that helps me understand how the US the US dollar is behaving. This is the pair that helps me understand how I expect any pair that is something USD will behave for the week. And so, what should we have for GBP USD? My trading strategy is the same thing. I can't change it because it is too simple to change. What you do first do, you go um you you go to you go to the 4 hour time frame. That is the thing that you do. That is where you start at. You go to the 4 hour time frame. Once you go to the 4 hour time frame, you determine the trend. Personally, there were trends that I had marked this, and I knew that even the downtrend that had the trend line that had started formed was was to come to this trend line, then bounce off, and we are starting to have a sell off. And so, what do I, or rather, what am I seeing for the week? In GBPUSD, I won't lie, I'm not seeing anything. Why? Because the market is in a downtrend, and I don't have a trend that is covering what we have here. So, what I'll be waiting is for this downtrend to form a trend line. Once it forms a trend line, then we can now look for entries. And when will that happen? That might happen around Monday. It can happen on Monday. It can happen on Tuesday. But until it forms a trend line, that is when we'll be looking for trends. Because how do I take trends? I look for trend lines. Once I look for trend lines, I plot the trend lines from the 4-hour time frame. Then there is this what he's generally do. I look at what the market will do for the 1 hour time frame. What the market is doing at that time. That is what I look for at the 1 hour time frame. Then I quote the 15 minutes and look for trades close to psychological levels. Psychological levels, these are zones of which the market reacts when it comes off. They act like support and resistance levels, but at these areas, remember we are speaking about price, and we can't just, as we always know, most of the time, most of the time, most of the time the market does behave differently, and as because we're talking about price, remember, let me repeat that price, I can't buy something at $51, or rather $52. That is very according to human psychology, that is kind of that is like playing games. But I can buy something for 75 shillings dollars. I can buy something for $70. I can buy something for $100. Even sometimes these $70, 75, they are too random. But I can do it. It will be common. It will resonate with me well when someone tells me to buy it at um $50, $100. That seems like a good number. And so that is the same way prices behave in the financial markets. Prices tend to react when we come to these whole random numbers, and that is why these areas are very common. And let me show you something. Even as you can see, at this point we have a cycle level, this 127 1.275. Remember, in GBP USD, the numbers the way the market is measured is in 1 point something something. So when we'll be talking at, we'll be looking at 50 pips from the current market price, and we were here at 1.275. And look at what the market was doing. The market reacted first at this level. The market reacted second. The market reacted third. It came back, reacted it. It came back and reacted to it before it eventually broke. And even as you can see, before even it broke, it started reacting. And so this breaking happened during news, and I was looking for buys. I had a bias, but um I was also in not fully supporting that buy because of we had broken the trend line. And sometimes when we break a trend line and we still experience buys, it means that trend line was not drawn well. And so I came back to the 1 hour time frame to confirm if the trend line was drawn perfectly, and I saw the trend line was drawn perfectly. If you can see, these are the touches that we had. It means that this trend line had happened perfectly. And so once I saw this break and we started holding at this zone, I knew the market is trying fast to form a consolidation before we break down. And remember, the market, before it changes in the trend, it has to consolidate for some time before we go down, and that is what had happened. Another thing, the most powerful market, the most powerful pattern in the market are double tops and double bottoms, according to my strategy. And what do we see here? We had formed a double top and a double bottom. Why didn't I take this trade? If you can see, we didn't have a cycle level around this area. The nearest cycle level was here, and I take trades when we have a retest. So what was I looking? If we had broken, I was looking for retest around this zone so that I can look for shots. That was what happened for last week, and we didn't have a retest at that zone, and it was supposed to happen. We hit here, then this retest hit here. But remember, it still happened at the same area, but it was not on a safe level, so I couldn't take that trade. One thing I've learned the hard way is to respect what I had written down, to respect my strategy, and that is what I couldn't risk. I'm taking this trade because of double bottom without sec level. Sec level is my most powerful confluence, and so that is what I'm looking for at GBP USD for last week. So this week GBP USD, I'm waiting for the 1 hour. I'm waiting at the 1 hour time frame to see if we will have a clean trend line formation, because we are very steep, we are very bullish. I can't be using this. I can't be using this. So we'll be waiting for a clean trend line to form in the 1 hour time frame, so that you can know how trades that you're going to take for the week. And so GJ, one of the pairs that helped me come back to where I was yesterday, to go back break even. GJ, we are having something, and I think we might have a retest around this area. I was anticipating that we might have a push until here, but I saw the market started forming things that are like this. This trade was actually I had made a mistake. Instead of having a 1:2, instead of having a 30 pip stop loss according to my trading plan, I had put a 60 pip stop loss. So I had risked an amount that is equivalent to a 60 pip stop loss, and that is why I didn't bank a lot of a lot of uh pips. And so if I had 60 pips stop loss around here, I would have banked a lot of pips, but I didn't. And so that is among the problems that I had. But it's still not a problem, because after sometimes I saw something like this, which I also closed it before 10, because as you can see, GBP USD did close around uh 1. It did close around 1 Saturday, and at that time I can't, because most pairs do close at my time around 23:45, or rather 12 a.m. in the morning. That is the time that most of my pairs close. And see, it closed with a candle going my side, and before it closed it had open spread. So I was safe enough to get out of this position. And so such things do help me realize that my strategy does work, and such things do help me realize that I can continue trading this strategy in any pair. And let me show you why I decided to take this trade here. If you can see, let me go to the 4 hour time frame. Let me go to the 4 hour time frame. This big reaction here was due to the trend line that was forming here. Then we had a very bearish move, then we started being bullish. So at this area I knew that the market would react, and I was supposed to open at this area, but you still come and look for position even if you miss a trade. And see what happened at this cycle level. We had a cycle level here before this drop, but see, at this cycle level we started having a reaction, and I also took it from this trend line which was being formed on the 1 hour time frame. Let me show you. We had this touch here, we had this touch here on the 4 hour time frame before I took the trade here. So I knew when I plotted the hit here, I came to the 15 minutes so that I can see that trend line well, and you can see 15 minutes it's as clean as possible. And so we had this touch here, And remember, as I told you guys, I take trades based on double tops. And once the trade touched here, it went red with it. Actually, I was supposed to target around this area 180, and I sent the signal to the group saying the TP1 was here, and I was supposed to close at this, but I'd risked more pips because I was looking at this trade as a swing trade. But I eventually closed it because I can't hold trades for the weekends, and that is one thing that can help me. And so, what am I looking at for this week? This week, one thing that will happen will still continue being in a downtrend because, as you can see, we are very bullish. We are very bearish. After this bull run, we are very bearish. We came and now are starting to find opportunities at this area. And so anything can happen. So get to be very dynamic because I'm also looking at something from the 1 hour time frame. We had this reaction at around this area, and this area we came, touch this, we went up, and the market is approaching it again. But meaning, I might assume that we are forming an uptrend because this trend line hasn't been touched again. Remember, so I think we might have a market going back to that trend line. And so if the market does come to this area, now I'm looking at this cycle level because my double bottom will be around this area. Now if the market on Monday opens in a way that is favoring me to enter, it starts showing reaction at this area, I'll be looking for long positions from the SEC level, meaning the market has to touch the SEC level. Risk 25 to 30 pips. Let me put at 28.88, then catch around 100 pips. Around 100 pips. Remember, if this trade can happen as early as Monday because we are close to that area, so watch out. And also remember, it can happen during the Asian session, and we are using GBP JP1, meaning it can move fast. It can actually move fast. So I'm looking for this trade. Let me delete this one. This one is currently invalid, and so I'm looking for that trade. But how am I still dynamic? If the trade decides to break, if the trade decides to break this level, it starts to go down. I'll be looking for entries around this area only. I'll be looking for entries around this area. So the trade has to play until it comes to this area. Then I'll be looking for shorts from this area, from the cycle level. Once I get shorts, target 100 pips as usual, then risk only 30 pips. And that is a clean 1:3. That is a clean 1:3. Very nice trade. You can also decide to only risk 50 pips, but the problem with the risking 50 pips, you won't catch as much. You won't have a very nice you won't have a very nice you won't have a nice risk to reward ratio, and that is what I'm looking for the next week for GBP GP1. I'm still looking for shorts. This long is not more of what I'm anticipating because I do trend with the higher time frames, but you can see we had this touch, this touch, this touch. Let me have this here. We had this touch, this touch, this touch, this touch, and we came touched this area. I now think we might have a move to the upside, but who knows? This buy trade can happen and this sell trade can happen. So how do we confirm the buy trade? Once the market comes, look for the next two candles after this candle closes, because this candle might even wick going upside. If it wicks going upside, just leave it. If it breaks breaks this level, just leave it. Don't take trades and look for entries with the break and retest strategy from this area. Okay, we'll be looking at this area so that we can trade trades, and that is what I'm looking at. But if it breaks down, you are looking at this area. But overall, I'm very bearish. I won't lie, I'm very bearish. Now let's go and look at gold. Gold, we caught this nice trade, a very very huge weak friend trade. And it was due to news, and I was also looking at this area for formation of double tops. Double top. I wanted the market to come. Remember, this is a week, so I was waiting for the market to push around this area, then come back to this area. Then I'll be looking for shorts, but it didn't happen as anticipated. Then catch around 1,000 pips in gold, and it didn't happen as I anticipated, and it is still okay. But what are we looking for at gold for the next week? Gold has been very bearish. Gold has been very bearish. I think actually it has been playing bullish and came here to retest this trend line, and so that was among also the reasons why I opened the trade, and it retested this area before going bearish with the news. If you can see, it retested this area before going bearish with the news. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame and determine what might happen for the week. Now in the 4-hour time frame, we had this week that had formed, and I was trying to draw a trend line with this low, but it was too steep. But your trend line is too steep. If you see your trend line being broken, because if I had used this area, the trend line was broken. If you see your trend line working that way, that tells you that your trend line is kinda wrong. I won't lie. And you see, this top was touched by this trend line, so this was the third touch, and it means it's a very valid touch, and that is the trend line that we'll be looking for this week. And so let me delete these trades. Let me delete these trades because they already played out, and I don't think we we will be still be looking at them. And so in the 1 hour time frame, I'm not seeing anything except from um consolidation that had happened here before we broke out. If you can see at this level that the market was consolidating, then it broke out with this candle. And so what will I be looking? Remember, this consolidation was broken out from according to price action. Let me draw it. This consolidation was broken out with this week's performing outside, then they closed inside. Then this candle broke out, and it broke out very strong. Now, what do I think? The market most of the time breaks out strong because there were very high amount of sellers who sold at this area, then broke out. But I always think there must be a retest around this area, and so we will first have to come up with our psych level. We have that psych level, okay, and that psych level goes well with our consolidation, meaning when the market comes to this area, someone can take trades. But remember, that is not my strategy or my edge. So what will I be looking? I'll be looking for the market to come at this zone, and if it comes at this zone, it will be in accordance to my strategy. It will have more confluences. So I'm looking for the market to come and retest around this area. Why am I sure that the market will retest? First, gold doesn't move much during the Asian and the Sydney session, so I'm expecting a consolidation for some time before we get to before we get to um before we get to the market moving upwards, then coming back to this zone. If it doesn't happen today, if it doesn't happen any time during this week, I won't trade. And that is the discipline that you should have. And so that I can have as many trades as possible, so that I can keep myself busy with the market, I decided to employ many pairs strategy, because at pairs I just go understand them, learn their fundamentals, go understand how this market works, and just leave it to do its thing. As simple as that. Don't have complicated things. And so if uh, I'm very sure this trade will play third position, looking for trades around this area. um I have 30 pips or 30 pips stop loss. Let me put it at that, from the psych level, then target 1,000 pips are in times 10. And so this is what I'll be looking at, and so that is what I'm looking for at gold. But this is just a week look over. Gold, I still believe it will be very bearish. We had a retest on the bullish 10th on the bullish trend line, and before we started going shorts, and I believe we'll still be looking for shorts for the next week. And we have now USDT. USDT on the 4-hour time frame has been very steep, because we had a very large bull run. Look at this. We had the market bouncing here before we had a very strong candle going upwards. And so I do believe that we might have a break of this small channel that is formed in the 1 hour, which I will show you. I believe we will have a small channel break, then we come back to this trend line before we go up. And USDT is still very bullish. This candle still tells us, and we started forming a small channel around here, and that channel is what I used to take the trades, because you can see we had the first bottom, then we came back and we started moving upwards. But one thing that I'll be looking at, we have a psych level of 7,400. Let me draw it. That's 7,400. 7,400. That is the psych level that we had, of which the market retested it at this area. And I believe that if we have a double top at this area, I'll be looking for shorts till the touch of this trend line, meaning that will be a swing trade, because I don't think this channel will hold for long. This channel is forming and it's very steep. It is not as steep, but it's forming a channel that is close to looking like a range, but it's a channel, let me say that, but it's forming a channel that is looking like a range, because you can see even the way the trend lines are drawn, they're looking like a range. And so this one, we had a confirmation of a bullish trend, a bullish market. And so if we have something happening around this region, I still be looking for buys. Okay, as simple as that. If we have a bullish move, actually I'll be looking for sells if we move around this area. Now at this area I'll be looking for sells, and once the sell happens, I'll be holding it until this trend line, and at this trend line I'll be looking for buys again around 100. Let me show you. This is a very nice trade. I won't lie to you. This will be a very nice trade. Remember, I'll be risking only a few pips, around 500, because this will be a very long trade. I won't lie to you. A very long trade until we touch the trend line, and we will have something like a 1 is to 12 rest to word ratio. And I'll get out of the trade once we touch the trend. Let me add an alert to that trend line so that whenever I activate this trade, I won't forget to put an alert in this trend line and remove the bullish. We hit here, it gives me formation of trend exhaustion. Then I take the trade. As simple as that, guys. And you see, trading is as simple as this, but we are the ones that make it as complicated as it seems. We are the ones that don't want to focus on only trading what we have written. And I can show you. I have my I have my system written. It has everything that I'll be looking for whenever I trade. It has everything. It has every criteria, and I'm only looking at certain things. I'm only looking at double tops for entries. I'm looking at weak rejections around zones. Let me show you like something here. Actually, here we also had a double bottom because the market wicked around that area, but I could not take the trade because I only take the trades that first go come and hit the trend line. But if you can see, this trade is far from the trend line. It's just that I can't trade anything that is not in according to my strategy. And I took one because the double first bottom was close to the trend line, so I believe the second bottom would actually even touch the trend line. That is why I had my stop loss past the trend line. I was looking for a bullish move to this area, and I closed at the next trend line. I closed at the next trend line because I believe the market will reach at this area. And it's as simple as that, guys. We have analyzed all the pairs that we'll be looking at for this week, and maybe I'll continue to look for very nice volatile pairs that you can trade around the Asian session, you can trade around the London session, and trade around the New York session. Guys, consistency is key. Let me also show you some one of another confluence that has been of great help to me. It helps me catch very large pips and not hold trades for this long. It is called fundamentals. My strategy actually can analyze fundamentals in a way that I myself didn't even believe that. I won't lie to you. My strategy has helped me analyze my fundamentals, and I can show you. If you have seen the trades that I've been taking, the FOMC. Actually, FOMC, I was to trade it using my strategy, but I didn't because it played after my market hours. We had the CPI. It was to play in accordance to our strategy, but we didn't trade that. We didn't have trades open because it didn't play with our strategy, and it rescued us. We were looking for longs, and most people took longs because of CPI, because we were very bullish on every market. So people are looking at longs. But what happened? People put buy stops which were hit, and then the market reversed to hit their stop loss. We had buy limits at levels which we had thought that the market will come, hit them, then go long. But it was not activated, meaning the market respected or they rather didn't respect what we had, but didn't open our trades endlessly, and we were rescued for that. And we also analyzed a trade which I have a session which I streamed 2 days ago. It showed me trading a strategy. The market didn't come back to the psych level, but it went the exact way that I wanted. And so I had put in by how do we call it? I was trading the GBP USD Bank of England interest rate, and the market respected the strategy but didn't have my buy limit activated. But all of this shows me that I can trade I can trade fundamentals using my strategy. And so I'll be streaming for the fundamentals parts. I'll be streaming them, and let us look at what do we have for the fundamentals for this week, for the next week. On Monday we'll be having my FX book. I do use my FX book for checking my trades. Do use my FX book for journaling my trades. I do use my FX book for um risk calculation or position sizing. I do use my Facebook for many things. I use my Facebook for sentiments analysis, which they give on Monday, and I I do love this site, and so I'll be adding JPY to my Facebook, because remember I was only trading GBP USD. That's why you can only see news for GBP USD and USD, and let us add them together so that you can see where is JPY. If you can JPY, yeah, we had JPY and apply, because I think most of my trades we have gold, we have GBP USD, we have GBP JPY and US 30. So we're looking at USD, US dollar currency. Remember, don't trade US 30 with news, because sometimes US 30 is not influenced by news the way we think. The USD can be moving downwards, but the US 30 can be moving upwards, and sometimes they can move the same direction. So if you want to trade news with GBP USD and gold and currency pairs. Don't use on indices. That is the pro tip that I've given you. And so, what will we be having on next week trading week? On Monday, we won't be having a high impact news, and I won't trade it. I told you I like high impact news, and so okay, Tuesday will be at 6 a.m. my time. We'll be having the Bank of Japan interest rate decision, and I'll try as much as possible to be up at that time and try trading that news. Okay, and also, uh, we also have a balance of trades by the JPY on Wednesday next week, and we also have an inflation rate for GBP next week. We also have a current account for USD on Wednesday. Meaning on Wednesday, get ready for get your accounts loaded, get your phones loaded, because we are about to make some dollars on Wednesday. And we'll have them analyzed before time. We'll have them everything set before time. On Thursday, we'll be having very nice jobless claims, initial jobless claims on the USD pairs and GDP growth rate. Those are the things that we'll be looking at. And on Friday, we'll still have the inflation rate um on the uh on uh JPY pair, and we'll be having GBP pair. Will have retail sales, and we'll also be having news. So on Wednesday and on Friday, we'll be having very heavy news. And let me tell you guys, you can see on Friday will be the 22nd December, meaning we are close to Christmas, and on Friday that will be the last trade of the year. And so this will be the trades that we'll be taking for the year, and we'll be waiting for January to unleash the beast inside us. And so guys, let 2024 be the best trading year of you. Follow your plan. Actually, 2023 has helped me to realize that it's not about strategy. It's about following my plan. It's about following my strategy. Not even following the big traders. Actually, you can stop trading with people and you can become your independent trader and become a successful trader. The only problem with us is that we want to be realized by people, and that is the problem, and that is the thing that is facing us. And so guys, make sure to trade safe, make sure to trade your plan. And we'll see guys, I'm currently working in a video where we'll be most of my viewers and my subscribers will be getting a $30 account, whereby you have no risk attached. You only trade that $30. You are supposed to make $50 minimum so that you can withdraw that profit. You will also come up with strategies to that pass that account, because you have to trade around 2 lots so that you can download. You have to trade more than 5 pairs so that you can withdraw the money. And so guys, as usual, video guy here making videos that are very very detrimental for our forex growth journey. And so I'll be looking at that trade, making that trade, making sure that most of you guys get the accounts as we did on the 5k prop farm account, which we are all trading currently. And as always guys, remember we have a WhatsApp channel that we always look at this market. And currently even this stream is on the WhatsApp. It's in a WhatsApp live call whereby we are trading with them currently. And so we are going to finish the stream for today. It was just about checking what the market will be doing for this week. And so let's have a recap before we leave. Actually, first I want to write it down. So that I can see. So in GBP USD, we are looking for sell setups, meaning we are waiting for the 1 hour time frame to form trends before we can short or long. In the GBP JPY setup, we are having a trend that is forming on the 15 minutes time frame. So we'll be waiting to see how the market reacts at this area. If it breaks, you can look for retest at this trend line and you can take trades, as I was telling you, or you can wait for the market to come to this level. On gold, we are looking for the market to play around this area, and as I told you, this trade might take some time, because you can see where the market is and where our trade is. It might take some time. And so the JPY, the US 30, we're waiting for the market to come at this point before we have a massive short for the for some time. And guys, it's as simple as that. And so let us close our session as we had opted and as we had started this session. Thank you guys for joining us. Like, subscribe and share, and let's meet on next week. Bye guys.